Losing that one person you never even dated, it's a different kind of heartache. You invest so much of your emotions, daydreams, and hopes into someone who never saw you in the same light. You find yourself analyzing every interaction, every word, trying to find just a hint of something more. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, feeling so connected to someone in one day and utterly invisible the next. You keep asking yourself where it went wrong, even though it never really started. You were too much for just friends, but not enough for anything more. And it leaves you there, wondering, trying to make sense of feelings that were never reciprocated, and question if they ever noticed your affection, or ever noticed your love at all. It's her loss, not yours. But I'm the one awake at 3 a.m. wondering what I could have done different. It's her loss, not yours. But she moved on, found love again, while I'm stuck on something that barely feels like nothing at all. It's her loss, not yours. But I'm the one who wakes up every morning with a heaviness in my chest that I don't know how to shake. It's her loss, not yours. But she's the one who walked away untouched, while I'm the one who learned to flinch at love, to second-guess kindness, to wait for people to leave before they even have the chance to stay. It's her loss, not yours. But she's the one who tainted my concept of love forever. Turned something that was supposed to feel safe into something that feels like a risk I'm not sure I want to take again. It's her loss, not yours. But I'm the one who can't trust the words "I love you" anymore. Because I know now that love can exist in the same breath as leaving. That love can sound like forever, but act like a season.
And you let her go.
It's her loss, not mine. Then tell me, why does it feel like I'm the one who lost everything?
Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. But dreams come slow and they go so fast. You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why.
How deeply did that heartbreak change the way you see love, see life? Did it make you softer, or did it make you colder? Do you still believe in the warmth of a touch, the safety of a whispered promise? Or have you learned that words can be empty, that even the most familiar hands can let go? Did it teach you patience, or did it teach you distance? Are you waiting for love, or are you running from it? And when you close your eyes at night, do you dream of something new, or do you relive the moment everything changed? The truth is, heartbreak doesn't just leave, it lingers in between the spaces, in between the moments, in the way you hesitate before getting close, in the way you flinch at something that once felt safe. But the real question is, after everything, do you still want to believe, or has love become just another ghost you can't let go of?
In case nobody's asked you this today, are you okay? Are you really fine? I mean, you know it's okay to feel a little off sometimes. It's alright that you don't want to smile. You don't need to explain bad moments away. We all get them and get through them. Don't forget that even the darkest clouds have the sun shining on the other side. So give it time, and you will be fine. Eventually, most likely, you'll feel the corners of your mouth naturally rise, and you'll know that it's real because everybody will be able to see it in your eyes. But until then, I was just calling to check on you because I was thinking of you, and I wanted to make sure that you're doing okay. Let me know if you're not. I'm always here if you need to talk.
What if your worst fear actually happens? What if you fail? What if they leave? What if you lose everything? We waste so much time fearing the worst. Here's the thing, if it happens, you'll survive, you'll adapt, you'll rebuild. Realize the worst case scenario is never as powerful as the fear that keeps you from trying. Nobody talks about how hard it is not to talk to somebody your soul, your body, your heart naturally yearns for. How hard it is to stay away when every part of you aches to go back. When your hands still remember the way they fit into theirs. When your mind still searches for them in the quiet moments. Letting go isn't about just walking away. It's about resisting the pull. It's about choosing yourself, even when every instinct tells you to choose them. It's about realizing that just because something felt right once doesn't mean it's still meant for you. And just because you might still be together in another universe does not mean you should keep waiting in this one.
And you guys got the original sliders here. Extra hot chicken tenders. See how we do. Yeah, so let's kick it in a little bit.
Let's talk about it. I'm tired of people hearing someone is depressed or suicidal and immediately saying, you need help, like it's a problem that needs fixing instead of something people actually live with. You want to know why guys don't talk about their feelings? Because the moment they do, they're treated differently, seen as weak, like they're broken, and that's exactly why they stay silent. The truth is, it's okay to be depressed. Not ideal, not easy, but okay. Society would be better if people understood that. If people weren't told to get better, but if they were allowed to exist just as they are. Because for some, depression isn't a phase, it's a part of them. And when they stop fighting it, when they accept it, sometimes they can find comfort in it. Suicide is devastating because it robs someone of every future version of themselves, all the love, laughter, and moments they would have had. But here's the part no one talks about. The reason some people are still here is because knowing suicide is an option gives them comfort. It's not about wanting to die. It's about needing to know they finally have control over something. So maybe the answer isn't telling people to get help. Maybe the answer is actually letting them be heard. Cooking with Henry. If no one has thanked you for it, let me be the first. Thank you for caring, even when it wasn't returned. Thank you for showing up for people who wouldn't have done the same for you. Thank you for loving, even after heartbreak, for trusting, even after betrayal, for believing in people, even when you had every reason not to. Thank you for being the kind of person this world needs more of. And I know it feels like nobody notices, but I promise you, somebody does. And if not, I promise someday, you'll find someone who will. Telling someone who's depressed to just be happy is like telling somebody who's drowning to just breathe. It's not that simple. People don't just choose to feel this way. You would think they want to wake up feeling empty, to lose interest in the things they once loved, to feel like they're stuck in their own minds with no way out. Happiness isn't a switch you can just flip. Sometimes the only thing worse than being depressed is feeling like you have to pretend you're okay. But what if you're not broken? What if the way you feel isn't something that needs to be fixed? The world tells you that if you're sad, if you struggle, if you don't wake up excited for life, then something's wrong with you. But what if you just feel things deeply? What if your sadness isn't a flaw, but a part of you? Not everything needs a cure. Not everything needs to be erased. Some people don't get better in the way the world expects them to. And that's okay. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just human. One day, you'll play a sport for the last time. One day, you'll walk out of a classroom and never return. One day, you'll hear a song and it'll never hit the same way again. Because you won't realize, because endings don't come with a warning. You don't always get a goodbye, a countdown, a final moment to take it all in. Some things just happen, and then they never happen again. One day, you'll have a conversation with a friend, and it'll be the last time you ever speak. One day, you'll wake up without knowing it's your last morning. One day, your great-grandkids will say your name for the last time before your existence in history is forgotten forever. So what are you waiting for? To appreciate life after it's already passed by? To look back and wish you had cared more? Every second is borrowed, every moment is slipping away. So appreciate life, be kind, give 100%. Because in the end, we don't regret the things we did. We regret the things we never did enough. Girl Scout cookies are great, but let's be honest, you don't just eat one. You tell yourself you have a couple, next thing you know, the whole sleeve is gone. In life works the same way. You settle for a little attention, a little effort, a little love, just enough to keep you coming back, but never enough to satisfy you. You keep convincing yourself, this is fine, this is enough, until one day you wake up and realize you've been living off scraps, off of temporary, fleeting moments that were never meant to sustain you. So stop accepting the minimum, the bare minimum, and calling it a full meal. Stop convincing yourself that good enough is the same as good. Because the only thing that satisfies you for a moment, they were never meant to last. Fried chicken is my comfort food. Too bad comfort doesn't last forever. But that's the thing, isn't it? Everything you do in life is a reflection of your standards. What you settle for, what you tolerate, what you believe you deserve. The way you treat yourself, every choice you make is shaping the life you're living. Whether you realize it or not, you say you want better, but do your actions reflect that? Are you just choosing what's familiar, what's easy, what's comfortable, even when it's holding you back? Because comfort feels good in the moment, but it rarely leads to growth. And if you keep choosing comfort over change, one day you'll wake up and you'll realize you never really lived. You just existed inside a routine you never questioned. So eat the fried chicken, enjoy the moment, but don't let that temporary comfort stop you from demanding more from life. Because everything you accept is a reflection of what you're worth. And you're worth more. Newsflash! Liking people is cool again. Acting uninterested isn't a personality trait. Ignoring texts doesn't make you mysterious. Pretending you don't care doesn't make you valuable. It just makes you miss out on real connections. You're not being chased, you're being avoided. No one's sitting around thinking, wow, their emotional unavailability is so attractive. Cool, I'll match that energy and move on. Stop making people feel stupid for liking you. Stop acting like enthusiasm is embarrassing. The people who matter aren't turned off by effort, they're turned off by mind games. Because real connections aren't built on ego, they're built on effort and honesty. Helicopter. Are you shawarma? Because I've been wrapped up thinking about you all day. Anyways, the person sending you this video, either one, will always be here for you, or two. They uncovered a decades-long government conspiracy and are now being followed. Unfortunately, you're the only person they trust to hold on to something this important until it's safe again. They don't have time to explain. They barely had time to send this. But what you need to know, if you check your messages, if you hear a knock at your door, if somebody asks you that you've never met, did you get the package? Just play it cool. They had to pass it off to someone they knew wouldn't raise suspicion. Someone who wouldn't ask too many questions. Someone who, let's be honest, wasn't expecting to be involved in a government cover-up today. But now you are. So whatever you do, don't lose it. Don't talk about it. And for the love of God, don't open the files. At least not yet. Right now, someone out there is doing exactly what you wish you could do. They have the job you want, The life you imagine, the opportunities you tell yourself are out of reach. But here's the thing you don't think about. At some point, they had the exact same skill level that you have right now. They weren't always confident. They didn't always start off as a professional. They were somewhere, sitting in a room, just like you, wondering if they're good enough. But instead of waiting, they took the risk. They put themselves out there. They keep going when others, even themselves, doubted them. And now, they're where you could be, simply because they were willing to try before they had all the answers. So what if the only thing standing between you and them is the fact that they gave 100%? What if your dream life isn't impossible, it's just waiting for you to stop hesitating? Because at the end of the day, it's not about who had more potential. It's about who was willing to bet on themselves before anyone else did. There's a special kind of ache in losing someone you never even had. A grief without the funeral, a heartbreak without the breakup. You carry the weight of something that never existed, mourning moments that live only in your head. You reminisce on imaginary conversations, alternate endings, or you wish they saw you the way you saw them. Yet no matter how much you analyze every glance, every pause, every almost, the reality remains. They were never yours to lose. And somehow, that makes it worse, because it's easier to move on from something real. It's easier to heal from a love that was given and taken away, than to untangle yourself from the idea of what could have been. You weren't left. You weren't abandoned. You were just never chosen. And that's the hardest part, because how do you grieve something that never even belonged to you? How long will you be haunted by the ghost of almost? Right now, someone out there has a random memory of you. Maybe it's the time you held the door open for them, the way you made them laugh on a day they needed it, or something they don't even remember saying. But to them, it meant everything. To you, it was just another moment, but to them, it became a story, one they might think about years later when the nostalgia creeps in. You are a ghost in someone's past, a stranger in someone's nostalgia, a lesson in someone's growth. You are the reason someone believes in kindness, or in the idea that people come into your life for a reason, even if they don't stay. So be kind. Long after you forget, someone else might be carrying the moments, your words, your actions, and they might leave a mark. If you have the chance to make someone's day better, take it. Because long after you're gone, the way you made them feel will remain. I know it hurts that you'll never get an apology from them, so I'll be the one to apologize to you. I'm sorry you gave love to someone who never knew what to do with it. I'm sorry they made you question your worth when it was never in doubt. I'm sorry you stayed longer than you should have, hoping they'd become the person they pretended to be. I'm sorry you kept forgiving, kept explaining, kept believing, when deep down, you already knew the truth. I'm sorry they made you feel like you were hard to love, when the truth is, they just weren't capable of loving you the way you deserved. I'm sorry nobody told you sooner that walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And if no one has said it, thank you for caring, even when it wasn't returned, for trying, even when it wasn't enough, for believing in love, even when love failed you. You'll need to see that their inability to value you was never a reflection of your own worth.
In the back of my mind, you died. I didn't even cry, didn't even regret it, not a single tear.
We always assume the worst. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if it's not worth it? But what if it does work out? What if it's the thing that changes everything? What if this is the moment your life shifts in ways you never expected? You can spend your whole life fearing for what could go wrong, or you can take the risk. Because if you take that leap enough times, you're bound to find out what happens when it finally goes right.
fucking with.
Henry. Maybe in another life, we would have had the timing right. Maybe if we had met a little sooner, a little later, a little differently. Maybe we're perfect for each other, just not the versions of us that existed at the same time. But life doesn't wait for perfect moments. It moves forward, whether we're ready or not. Some books don't get a final chapter, just a bookmark left in a place we'll never return to.
It's not true. Tell me I've been lied to. Cry.
The hardest choices aren't between good and bad. They're between good and good. Because when you have two great options, you're not just choosing what to gain, you're choosing what to lose. Maybe one feels safe, like a well-lit path that you can already see the end of. The other, exciting, unpredictable, a road you've never walked, but one you can't stop thinking about. One is certainty, the other is possibility. One is comfort, the other is curiosity. And no matter which one you pick, a part of you will always wonder about the road left behind. You never got to live one, the version of yourself that could have existed if you just took a step in the other direction. But that's the thing about choices. You don't get to have both. You don't get to see how the story ends before picking which one to live. All you can trust is that what you choose will be enough. And accept every version of your life will be in one end. We always hear about the heartbreak of being left, but what about the heartbreak of knowing you hurt someone you never wanted to hurt? Of realizing that despite your best intentions, despite how much you cared, you still became the villain in someone's story. Because sometimes love isn't enough to prevent pain. You love them too much, you try too hard, you give too much, say the wrong things in an attempt to make things right. Sometimes, in wanting the best for them, you make choices that feel right, but leave scars. People say time heals, but how do you heal when the wound isn't yours? When all you ever wanted was for them to be okay, even if it meant they had to be okay without you. We talk about heartbreak like it only belongs to those we left. But sometimes the hardest thing about losing someone is understanding that even the kindest hearts leave unintentional scars. The weight of a split second. Most of life is decided in moments we barely notice. The second you hit send, the second you hold back, the second you decide to stay a little longer or leave sooner. One moment, one decision, one tiny shift in time, and your whole future could look different. The scariest part, you won't know which moments mattered until they're behind you. So choose carefully, and don't be afraid to choose.
Oreo.
Look at you, a whole lot smarter, a whole lot stronger than you used to be. Your pain, trauma, none of it was fair. Nobody should have to carry what you did. But do you know how proud your younger self would be to see you turn it into wisdom? To see the things you've learned, the strength you built, the way you don't accept the things you thought you always had to endure, the way you stopped explaining yourself to people who never listened, how you learned to set boundaries without feeling guilty, how you realize that not everything deserves a reaction, because growth isn't loud, it's not obvious, sometimes it's the small things, walking away from what no longer serves you, realizing that peace matters more than proving a point. You don't give yourself enough credit. You're not just older, you're wiser. You're not just smarter, you're evolving. And maybe you're not to where you want to be yet, but look at where you are. Look how far you've come. That's something worth being proud of. It's so easy to compare yourself, to think you're running out of time because someone your age is already married, already successful, already figuring it out. But your timeline isn't theirs. Your story is unfolding the exact way it's supposed to. Just because you haven't had something yet doesn't mean you never will. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're meant to be.
You don't wanna. I've been up a very long time. Wonder why they hate on me. I don't wanna love myself. I'm praying that they all love me. Cause you don't wanna. I should've
Cooking with Henry. The person sending you this video, either one, wants to get Chinese food with you sometime, or two, is actually a secret agent on an undercover mission. They never really had social media that often, never really talked about their past. At first, you probably thought they were just private, but then little things started to add up. They speak multiple languages, but never explain how they learned them. They disappear without warning and always have a reason. They are sometimes hesitant when you try to take pictures of them. Then one night, they're worried you found something you weren't supposed to. Maybe it was a fake passport, maybe it was 3 different names, different countries. None of them match the one you know. They're not sure, but they're happy you never brought it up. Because you were never supposed to find it.
So the Amazon to show the country that you're from. It's where the world.
Do you ever think about the fact that your best day might still be ahead of you? The kind of day where everything just clicks, where you wake up for once and it just feels right. The right song plays at the right moment. You find yourself laughing so hard, you forget what sadness feels like. Maybe it's a day where you meet someone who changes your life forever. Maybe it's a moment so pure, so unexpected, that years from now, you'll think about it and smile. Maybe it's a simple day, driving down the window, sitting under the stars, realizing, for the first time in a long time, I feel okay. Think about it. You've already survived every terrible, unbearable, heartbreaking day, and yet you're still here, which means the day that means everything makes it worthwhile, that's the one where you finally understand why you kept going. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be waiting for you in a moment you never see coming. So don't give up yet. Your favorite day hasn't happened. Don't rob your future self of it. Men get more flowers when they're dead than they ever do when they're alive. Funny, isn't it, the way people suddenly remember you when you're no longer here to answer. When you were alive, they were too busy. Life got in the way. But the moment they were gone, they have all the time in the world to write paragraphs, post your pictures, and talk about memories they wish they could relive. But people grieve absence more than they grieve value, more than they ever value presence. They don't appreciate what they have until it's a memory. Because love isn't about mourning loss. It's about showing up before it's too late. Call just because. Check in without a reason. Let people know they matter when they can still feel it. Because when the funeral ends, the post stops, the world moves on. What's left? The way you made them feel when you're still here.
From an empty sea, a flash of light.
If you ask me for a dozen roses, I'd give you 11 and a mirror. Anyways, the person sending this video, either one, send it to their favorite person, or two, they accidentally uncovered a secret message in a centuries-old manuscript, and now shadowy figures have been tracking their every move. They need you to meet them at an undisclosed location with nothing but a notebook, a flashlight, and an open mind, because you might be the only one who can help them decipher the truth before it's too late. No one will ever know you the way you know yourself. It's impossible to translate your entire experience into words. You could spend a lifetime speaking, writing your emotions, but no matter how carefully you choose your words, they'll always fall short. Because language is limited, and human experience is infinite. Every thought you've ever had, every feeling, those are all yours. You have lived moments nobody else was there for. You've battled thoughts you could never say out loud. Even when someone listens with all their heart, they can only grasp a fraction of what it truly means to be you. This isn't loneliness. This is reality. This is why we chase art, music, poetry, connection, to express something we don't fully understand. Because life isn't about feeling perfectly understood. It's about being brave enough to exist loudly. It's all about knowing that somewhere out there, someone will hear your voice and feel less alone. And maybe you'll realize that being seen imperfectly, incompletely, is still enough. You think you have time, you don't. You say you'll do it later. You say you'll say it next time. You'll chase it when you're ready, like tomorrow's promise. Time is not patient. One day, you'll wake up and realize that every later has run out. You do not have time. You have a moment. And if you waste it, if you let hesitation win, if you assume life will wait for you, that one day you will look back and realize that you never truly lived at all. So stop waiting. If there is something you want, take it. If there's something you need to say it. Because the only difference between the life you have and the life you want is what you do with the seconds you have right now. The person sending you this video, either one, has a crush on you, or two. The person sending you this video, either one, thinks you're their best friend, or two, they think he's for the casino, take out all your money, plus an additional low of as much money as you can get out, take it straight to the roulette table, and throw it all on red. Red is always a lock. It's due.
I remember how it looked whenever you were really smiling or whenever you were just making it make me happy. I remember everything about you, but it feels like all you want to do is forget me. And that hurts. It hurts my head, and it hurts my stomach, and it hurts my chest. My whole body aches because of what you did.
Life isn't fair. Now what? You grew up thinking that hard work, kindness, and doing the right thing leads to success. Then watched people cheat and win. You saw talent overlooked, effort wasted, and kindness mistaken for weakness. Some people are born into opportunity, others fight for scraps. Some make one mistake and never recover. Others get endless chances. Hard work doesn't always pay off. Kindness isn't always rewarded. So what now? Do you sit back and wait for fairness that will never come? No. All you can do is work so hard that fairness becomes irrelevant. Push forward, knowing you might not get what you deserve, but refusing to let that stop you. Build a life so undeniable that privilege, luck, and circumstance has no power to dictate your fate. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And if not now, when? Nobody's watching you as closely as you think. You hesitate before posting, overthink before speaking, hold back from trying because people might judge you. People are too wrapped up in their own lives to be watching yours. They'll glance at you for a second, maybe form a fleeting opinion, and then go back to worrying about themselves. The thoughts you obsess over, the fears that keep you frozen, nobody else is carrying them the way you are. People don't remember half as much as you think they do. And even if they do, their opinions will shift, fade, and be replaced by thousands of other distractions. So stop living life like you're under a spotlight that doesn't exist. Stop filtering your life through the fear of temporary judgment. You're the only one who's truly affected by your choices. In the end, the loudest critic will always be your own mind. Make sure you don't silence the life you want to live. We mourn endings like they're failures, like every goodbye is proof that something went wrong. But endings aren't always tragedies. Not everything is meant to last forever. Some people simply teach you something, shift your perspective, help you grow in ways you never would have on your own. They enter your life, change you, and leave. And maybe that was the point. We cling on to the idea that permanence is a measure of success, that if something mattered, it never should have gone. But some of the most powerful moments, the most life-altering connections, the most meaningful experiences are fleeting. And that doesn't make them any less real. Don't mourn every goodbye like it's proof of failure. Instead, ask yourself, what did it give you? What did it teach you? And what will you do with it now? Because endings aren't just endings. They're beginnings in disguise. When did you become so afraid? There was a time when you didn't hesitate, when you spoke without overthinking, chased what you wanted without doubt, and never questioned if you were enough. So what made you change? Was it someone that made you feel small? When you failed once and convinced yourself to never try again? Or was it life? Slowly teaching you to be careful, quiet, and small. But what if you could go back, not to who you were, but back to what you were meant to be, the version of you that tried without hesitating, that didn't need permission to take up space. Because maybe growing up isn't about losing that fearlessness. Maybe it's about having the courage to take it back.
I can't hate you because you couldn't love me. I was never gonna be the one for you. And I knew that. I knew I was never gonna be the one for you. But a part of me just wanted to still feel loved.
Because this is the moment you realize something inside you is broken, and it can never be fixed.
No matter how much you love, how deeply you give, how hard you try, there will always be people who walk away. People who fail to see your worth, who make you feel like you weren't enough, who chose someone else despite the love you give them. And it will hurt, it will make you question yourself, but it was never about you. They just weren't capable of accepting the love you offer. Some people will choose less, not because they deserve more, but because they only know how to carry what's easier. Some people will turn away from something real. Sure, you could have loved harder. You could have been softer, stronger, quieter, louder, but it wouldn't have changed a thing. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. So let them go and remind yourself as many times as it takes that their inability to appreciate you does not define your worth. They were just never enough. People think regret comes from making the wrong choice, from failing, from choosing the path they didn't lead where they hoped. But most regret comes from not choosing at all, from standing at the crossroads, waiting for the perfect sign, watching the moment pass, from hesitating, assuming there will always be more time. But every dream you put off, opportunity you ignore, feeling you don't express, it all adds up in the quiet ache of what could have been. Realize failure doesn't hunt the way inaction does. You can live with failure, learn from it, rebuild from it, but the chances you never take, the words you never say, the things you never even give yourself a shot at, they stay with you. Because you never know what could have happened. And that uncertainty, that's what lingers. So stop waiting for certainty. Stop assuming there will be a perfect moment. There won't be. The perfect moment is the one you decide to act in. You could never be a steak, because you're both rare and well done. Anyways, the person sending you this video, either one, send it to the finest person they know, or two, they've been time traveling in their sleep, and that's why they always wake up exhausted. At first, it just felt like bad sleep, but then details started slipping through. The smell of rain on cobblestone, next year's Super Bowl, conversations that hadn't happened yet. Some nights, they wake up with songs in their head that don't exist yet. Last night, they didn't dream at all. No memories, no flashes of another world, just empty darkness. And when they woke up, they were still there. They are still there. They need your help to save them. And the first clue on how is coded in this video. Newsflash, you're allowed to care. Somewhere along the way, caring became embarrassing. Like it's cooler to be detached. Like it's weak to show emotion. But apathy isn't strength. Acting uninterested doesn't make you powerful. And pretending you don't care, it only robs you of connection. So care loudly, unapologetically. Be the person who hypes people up, but means what they say, who actually shows up. Because the people who matter won't think it's cringy, they'll think it's rare. You wait to feel motivated before you take action, but motivation won't always come. The difference between that life you have and the life you want isn't some spark of inspiration. It's the choice to start, even when you don't feel like it. You won't always feel like working, studying, exercising, or showing up for yourself. But discipline means doing it anyways, because motivation is a feeling, and feelings fade. But discipline, that stays, that builds, that turns dreams into reality. The people you admire didn't get there because they were motivated. They got there because they kept going, even on the days they didn't want to quit. Discipline will take you where motivation never could. People may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Think about it. You don't remember every conversation you've had, but you remember who made you feel safe, who made you feel small, who made you feel like you mattered. Words fade, compliments are forgotten, but the way you make someone feel stays with them long after they've left the room. So choose kindness, choose patience, choose the reason someone believes in goodness a little more. At the end of the day, people won't replay your words. They'll replay the way you made them feel understood.
I need you to do something for me. I need you to let me go. You have to let me let you go. In another life, maybe it was you and me. Maybe there we loved each other right, and we were happy together. Maybe in that life we did all the things we said we would. But we got this one instead. You were my friend, my love, and now a stranger. But you'll always be my favorite memory.
What if the life you want isn't far away, but already happening in ways you can't see? You're waiting for a big moment, a breakthrough that changes everything. But what if it's happening already? Every small choice, late nights spent working on yourself, choosing discipline over doubt, quiet moments where you refuse to give up, is already shaping the life that you want. Growth isn't loud, it isn't instant, it doesn't acknowledge or announce itself. But one day, without even realizing it, you'll wake up and see that you stepped into the life you once thought was impossible. The chance you're waiting for isn't in the distance, it's in the choices you make today. So stop looking ahead and start recognizing that you're already on your way. I used to believe that if two people cared enough, they'd always find a way. But love isn't just a feeling. It's about effort, alignment, timing. And somewhere along the way, we stopped meeting in the middle. We didn't fall apart all at once. It wasn't slow, unnoticeable, until one day, we weren't who we used to be. Not because the love wasn't real, but because it was. Because we tried. Because for a time, we thought we were forever. So I'll let you go with love. Not resentment, not anger, no bitterness, just quiet gratitude for what it was and acceptance for what is. I don't regret us, but I can't stay in a place that no longer exists. At times, you leaving makes me feel numb. Others, the ache, the hollow pain, the soul-crushing loneliness is the only thing that still feels real. You're doing better than you think. You're so focused on where you want to be that you forget how far you've already come. There was a time when the things you have now felt impossible. Just acknowledge how much wiser you've gotten in the last year alone. The growth, the lessons, the progress, it all counts. Stop being so hard on yourself. Keep going, twin. You look back at who you used to be and feel embarrassed by the choices, the mistakes, and the things you didn't know. But that version of you was doing the best they could with what they had. They endured moments that could have had them broken. They kept moving forward even when they were lost. Without them, you wouldn't be here. Growth isn't about erasing the past. It's about understanding it. Your past self wasn't perfect, but they were necessary. Every mistake, setback, every hard lesson, each one shaped the person you are now. That's worth more than regret. It's worth being proud of yourself. Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Every year, you say things will be different, that you'll take the risk, chase dreams, become who you were meant to be. But another year passes and nothing changes. The same routines, the same doubts. Look at your surroundings right now. Has your life even improved from the last year? If it has, keep going. If it hasn't, step up. Life doesn't change unless you do. Everything in life is a reflection of your standards. So stop waiting. Stop repeating the same year and calling it growth. Raise your standards and make this year the year you finally move forward. Because if not now, when?
Listen, this not my city show, but I treat it like my city show. 20 more minutes
told to believe that life will always get better. That if we keep pushing, keep waiting, keep working, then one day everything will fall into place. Nobody wants to tell you the truth. There are no guarantees. You could get lucky, you could find success, happiness, love, or you could lose everything. Your job, your health, your sense of certainty. Life doesn't follow a script. It doesn't promise a happy ending. So what if this moment, right now, is the best it ever gets? Would you waste it waiting for something better? Would you put your happiness on hold? We treat happiness like it's a finish line, always just out of reach. We tell ourselves we'll be more happy when we have more money, when we accomplish more. But happiness is never about more. Appreciate what you have instead of mourning what you don't. Realize that no matter what the future holds, this is the only moment you're guaranteed. So maybe this is really as good as it gets. Wouldn't you rather spend it fully living instead of endlessly waiting? Not every sadness fades. Some of it stays, and the worst thing you can do is fight it. Pretend it's not there. Push it down. Act like you're supposed to be whole, because that only makes it heavier. Maybe healing isn't about getting rid of the sadness. Maybe it's about carrying it differently, letting it exist without letting it control you, understanding that you can still laugh, love, and build something meaningful, even with the weight of it. You're not broken for feeling differently. You're not failing just because the darkness lingers. Stop waiting to be better. Start living as you are, because even the sadness never fully leaves. Neither does the chance to create something beautiful alongside it. I tried to take my own life twice on my 19th birthday. I'm not even supposed to be here. This video found you to reflect on that night. You didn't think you'd see morning. The day you swore would be your last. Few know about it, maybe none. But you remember the edge, the barrel, the rope, the bottle, the pills, the water, the feeling, the thought too heavy to carry any longer. You were ready. You'd already made peace with it. And yet somehow you're still here. But if I'm still here, if you're still here, then there's a reason. Maybe it's not clear yet. Maybe it won't be for a long time. But every breath you take is another chance to find out. You don't have to hope yet. You don't have to believe it gets better. You just have to keep going. Because one day, without even realizing it, you'll wake up and be glad you stayed. And that's a promise from me personally. It will take a while. It took me over 3 years. So until that day, until it comes, as long as you are here, I am proud of you. Keep going. You're not done yet.
Hey, I was just calling to say that it had nothing to do with you. You didn't change. It was me. I changed. There was nothing you could have done to make me stay. There was nobody else. I left for myself. It's just that, how do I say this? One day, things didn't feel the same. I felt myself drifting away, and my feelings began to wane with each passing day, like a leak that keeps dripping over time. My love for you slowly leaked out of me. I tried to make it work for weeks. I stayed longer than I should have, and before I knew it, there wasn't a single drop left in me that still wanted you and me. I was running on empty. No matter how much I could see you trying to refill the love in me, I'm sorry. It wasn't you. It was all me. I still care for you. I want the very best for you, but I could no longer be there for you. I just wanted to clear the air for you. I understand if you hate me. I never imagined that I'd say this to you. You have to know, though, that I didn't plan for this. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to fall out of love with you, because I truly did love you. I still do.
person sending you this video, either one, is in love with you, or two. Stop feeling like you have to fix everything. Not everything broken needs to be fixed. Not every silence needs to be filled. Some things are meant to be left alone. To hurt, to heal, to pass. You're not responsible for everyone's peace. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to not have answers. Sometimes survival is enough, and that is more than okay. You dodged a bullet, they said. But no, the bullet went right through me. Funny how that works, isn't it? You walk away untouched, clean, calm, like none of it ever hit you. But I'm still here, bleeding from something we both stood in front of. You moved on like it never meant much. And maybe for you, it didn't. But for me, it tore through everything. My peace, my plans, the version of myself I built around us. People talk about heartbreak like it's poetic, but there's nothing pretty about feeling replaceable. Still, I won't hate you for walk away. You did what you had to do, but don't call it mutual. You dodged it, I took the hit.
So I'll just drift away, disappear for a
Cooking with Henry.
Hey, look, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for how we ended things. I just knew that the only way for us to truly get over each other was to leave without saying goodbye. And I know that's shitty, but you would have never let me go. I love you so much, and I know that you love me. We couldn't keep doing that to each other. I hate that I hurt you, and I know you hate yourself for hurting me. I know you won't understand that I left because I love you. I left because I knew that you would never stop loving me. I left because I couldn't see myself taking you down with me. You are so bright, and you have such a beautiful soul that deserves to be shared with the world. Go out and chase your dreams. You are so much bigger than me. I wish that you would believe yourself in the way that I believe in you. I wish that you would see what I see. I know you do great things, but I cannot be a part of that. You need to let me go to fully love you. And I hope that you do. I hope that you see that one day. I hope that you take care. I hope that you achieve everything that you are capable of. With love, goodbye.
They're going to talk either way. If you win, they'll say you got lucky. If they lose, they'll say they saw it coming. No matter what you do, somebody will have something to say. So stop living for their approval. Stop shrinking to make other people feel comfortable. Their opinion doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't build your dream. It doesn't wake up with your regrets. Live loud, take up space, be who you are, fully, unapologetically, without asking permission. Because when it's all said and done, you're the only one who has to live with the life you choose. They're going to talk either way. If you win, they'll say you got lucky. If they lose, they'll say they saw it coming. No matter what you do, somebody will have something to say. So stop living for their approval. Stop shrinking to make other people feel comfortable. Their opinion doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't build your dream. It doesn't wake up with your regrets. Live loud, take up space, be who you are, fully, unapologetically, without asking permission. Because when it's all said and done, you're the only one who has to live with the life you choose. Healing isn't pretty. It doesn't come with closure, clarity, or a perfect timeline. Sometimes it looks like laughing one minute and shutting down the next. Sometimes it means outgrowing people you still love, or forgiving someone who did you wrong. Just so that you can sleep again. Because healing isn't choosing to self-destruct, even when you want to. It's messy, quiet, exhausting, but it's happening. Every time you pause instead of react. No one claps for healing. No one sees how hard it really is. But if you're still here, still trying, still showing up, that's enough. Keep going, twin. Y'all, did I go overkill on the cinnamon? It's in my eyes. I think I went overkill on the cinnamon. Cooking with Henry. Addiction is not a choice. No one just wakes up and decides to ruin their life. Nobody decides to lose control. Sometimes it just starts as an escape. Sometimes it just happens. One habit turns into a cycle. One thrill turns into a craving. Suddenly, you're not steering anymore. Addiction doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. To response to pain, to patterns, to moments you couldn't predict. And when addiction isn't a choice, recovery is. Recovery is choosing yourself over and over, even when it hurts, even when your body says no, even when it's not easy. But it's possible. And if you're trying, you're succeeding. You're not broken. Keep going, twin. Anyways, y'all see our cinnamon fell off? Kind of spilled it last time, so maybe it's a good thing, because I still have cinnamon in my eyes. And then this is where we lost the sugar last time, too. But buttered sugar toast is underrated. Get in your kitchen right now, get some toast, throw some butter on it, and dump some sugar. Honestly, it's underrated. Another Cooking with Henry, You didn't lose time. You lived it. You didn't waste those years. You endured them. You grew in places you didn't even know were broken. You survived things before you had the tools to heal from them. That wasn't wasted time. That was preparation. That was becoming. Everything you went through taught you something that you couldn't have learned any other way. You didn't fall behind. You laid a foundation. Now build from it. Anyways, y'all want to rate donuts? Where does chocolate rate? I think I go vanilla cake, chocolate frosting at 1. Go ahead and comment your favorite donut. This one's hard to beat. This is like fresh. I felt worthy of everything for no reason, and I felt worthless when surrounded by love. I've been deeply inspired and dangerously low, sometimes in the same week, in the same day. There are demons I live with, self-doubt, judgment, depression, feeling small. They don't leave, but I've learned how to quiet them. When I focus on what's good, they fade. When I practice gratitude, self-worth, and presence, I get my power back. Whenever I shine my light on something, then it grows. So I choose to shine where I want to live. That's That's how I keep my darkness away. Sometimes what you think you feel isn't actually what you feel. It's what you've been taught to feel. You convince yourself you're okay, or broken, or bad, because somewhere along the way, you internalize rules. What's right, what's wrong, what's normal to one, what isn't. And that voice in your head, it isn't always yours. It might sound like yours, but oftentimes it comes from fear, shame, or survival. Yes, there are times we have to correct ourselves, hold back harmful actions, resist bad impulses. That's part of being a human being. Tell yourself not to hurt others, not to break laws. Those are boundaries we all need. But if you're constantly pushing them down, violent or disturbing thoughts, then it's more than just a passing moment. Then that's not weakness, that's a signal. And there's no shame in getting help. Your mind isn't your enemy, but it does care, just like any part of you. They don't miss you. They miss the version of you they had control over. The one who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. The one who over-explained everything just to be understood. The one who made themselves smaller just so others could feel big. They don't miss your presence. They miss your compliance, your softness without boundaries, your forgiveness without accountability. But that version of you is gone now. And what they feel isn't lost. It's the absence of power they once had over you. Let them feel it. That's not your burden anymore. Maybe knowing me more leads to loving me less. Maybe the closer people get, the easier it is to see that I have cracks I try so hard to hide. The overthinking, the fear, the way I pull back when I care too much. I used to think being fully known was the path to being fully loved. But now I'm not so sure, because sometimes the more I show, the more they leave. And maybe that's not about being too much. Maybe it's about them never being ready for something real.
Depression can be invisible. It's lifting others up when you're feeling down. It's helping someone find their way while feeling totally lost in life. It's texting someone, "I'm fine," when you're anything but. It's telling others that everything is going to be okay while feeling hopeless. It's going to work or school and excelling at everything you do, but falling apart when you're back home. It's being the most entertaining person in the room while feeling empty inside.
The person sending you this video, either one, always forgets everything, or two, they number hard to Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will believe in your dreams, your timing, or your truth. And that's not a problem to fix. It's part of the path. You weren't made to be understood by everyone. You were made to be real. Einstein once said, great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. So if they don't see your vision, let them look away. Your purpose doesn't need a round of applause. Your peace doesn't need consensus. Stop shrinking for spaces about growth. Stop asking for permission to be who you already are. Approval is fleeting. Alignment is everything. You don't need their validation. You need your own conviction. You weren't made to be understood. You were made to evolve. Let them misunderstand you. Just don't let them stop you. They only miss you when you stop chasing, when your energy isn't there to hold it all in anymore. They don't miss you. They miss the version of you that gave endlessly without asking for anything in return. The one who checked in first, apologized first, held space for both hearts, even when theirs stayed closed. You were always the one who cared more. That's why it hurt more. That's why it took longer to let go. Because they were being comfortable, being distant, you were the one who showed up in ways they never acknowledged. But here's the truth. Loving harder doesn't make you weaker. It just means you were real. And one day, they'll look back and realize they lost something rare. Not because you left too soon, but because you stayed far too long. It's a place they never saw your worth. So let them miss you. That's the cost of taking your power back. Your late start is right on time. You keep telling people that you're behind, that you should have figured it out by now, that other people are ahead and you're just playing catch up. But what if you're not late at all? What if you're exactly where you need to be? Everyone moves at their own pace. Some find success at 20, others at 40. Some meet the love of their life early, others expect them to find it when they least expect it. You're not behind, you're on your own timeline. And when it happens for you, you'll be right on time. I met you when I wasn't looking for anything, and I lost you when I finally realized I wanted everything with you. There was our hot fudge at the side, by the way. Maybe it was bad timing, maybe we weren't ready, but I still think about how something so right showed up at the wrong moment, and how the hardest part wasn't losing you, it was becoming the version of me that was finally ready to love you. Somebody sent you this video either because, one, is that a car? love you more than they've ever loved anyone in their entire life. Or two. The loneliest moments are often the most transformational. It's easy to celebrate the milestones, but no one claps for the nights you cried quietly and still woke up the next morning. The most powerful transformations don't happen in the spotlight. They happen in silence, in moments when no one is watching, when you decide not to give up on yourself. Even when everything in you is tired, that's where the shift happens. That's where you begin again. Joy feels foreign after pain, but you still deserve it. When you've spent years surviving, joy can feel suspicious. You start waiting for the catch, for the crash. But peace after pain isn't fake, it's healing. And you don't need to explain why you're smiling now, why you rest more, why you laugh again. You deserve to feel light, even after carrying so much.
But I want it to be you. I wanted it to be you.
Becoming isn't always beautiful. We romanticize growth like it's a highlight reel. Sunrises, breakthroughs, and big reveals. But real becoming, it gets messy. It's getting it wrong 10 times before getting it half right. It's uncomfortable. It's saying goodbye to what's familiar, even when it feels safe. Growth doesn't always look like progress, but it still counts. You think you're your own person, your own thoughts, your own choices, but whether you realize it or not, the people around you are shaping you every day. Spend time around negativity, your thoughts will darken. Surround yourself with people who make excuses, you'll start making them too. It's about human nature. We are wired to adapt, blend in, match our surroundings. It happens so slowly, so suddenly, that you won't even notice until you look back and wonder how you got there. If you don't like what you see, change what surrounds you. Choose people who push you to be better. Put yourself in places that demand growth. Because in the end, your future won't be shaped by your intentions. It will be shaped by what and who you let influence your life every single day. You might think something's wrong with you, that you've lost your spark, that you're not as driven, as clear-headed as you used to be. But what if it's not you? What if you've just been adapting to an environment that's slowly draining you? We reflect the energy around us. So when you're surrounded by chaos, it's hard to feel calm. When your world keeps shrinking, no wonder your dreams start to shrink too. But you are not stuck. You're just out of alignment with what you need to thrive. You don't have to burn everything down. You don't need to reinvent yourself overnight. Sometimes all it takes is one change, one new influence, one brave step in a better direction. Start small. Surround yourself with people who make you feel seen. Put yourself in places that remind you of who you are and who you want to be. Growth begins the moment you realize you deserve something more than what you've been settling for. You think everyone notices the things you obsess over. Your teeth, your laugh, the way your voice sounds. You think they're focused on the little things you try to hide, the moments you wish you could take back, the way your shirt fits, or if your posture is nice when you're walked. But they're not. They're thinking about their own worries, their own insecurities. Instead, they see your energy. They remember how you make them feel. They remember the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. They remember the way you make them laugh when they needed it. They remember the comfort of being around you, not the things you wish you could change about yourself. So you're not a collection of imperfections. You are a present, a warmth, a story. So smile without shrinking, speak without second guessing, because the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It just needs a real one. You weren't naive for believing in love. You weren't stupid for trusting their words. You weren't weak for holding on. You were hopeful, and that's a beautiful thing. It's okay to admit you thought they'd stay. It's okay that it still hurts you. But just because they left doesn't mean you were wrong to believe. It means they weren't ready to handle a connection as powerful as the one you had to offer. The person posting this video, either one, is quitting social media for good. It's been a lot of consideration. I've thought it through time and time again, but TikTok keeps banning me. YouTube keeps muting my videos. Instagram keeps taking them down. It's cool what I do and all, but it's just not for me. I'm sorry, I know I help a lot of you guys out, but this will be the last video I ever post. Or two. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for all the support. Last time you'll ever hear from me. Henry, out. It's strange to think about how close we were to forever. If you had just tried a little harder, if I had begged a little less, if we were both a little more healed, more patient, maybe we would have made it. Maybe we weren't some toxic disaster. We weren't doomed from the start. We were just almost what we needed, almost who we needed to be. And that's what makes it hurt more. Not the memories, but how close we came to making the good ones last. Don't wait until you're better to love yourself. You can probably list 5 things right now you wish you did better. You wish you were working out more, eating better, had a better physique, better grades, or a better career. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself. But if you only love yourself after you improve, growth becomes a transaction, earning your own kindness. But love isn't a reward for perfection. It's the foundation. It's the fuel. The version of you right now deserves to be supported, not shamed into change. Because healing doesn't come from hating yourself into a better version. It comes from loving yourself into a pure one. Peace feels boring at first. When you're used to chaos, peace doesn't feel peaceful. It feels unfamiliar. You confuse stability with emptiness, kindness with obligation, and rest with laziness. Because you trained yourself to expect the storm, the fight. Calm feels suspicious, quiet feels wrong. But that discomfort, it's not a sign that something's missing. It's a sign that your body is learning what safety actually feels like. Let it feel boring. Let it feel slow. That's where healing begins. Not not with fireworks, but finally leaving a place and going into one that asks nothing from you except for you to be yourself.